When you think of candy, what are some of the first brands that come to mind? Snickers? M&M's? Hershey's? Maybe even Skittles? What if I told you there is one candy that is just so much more superior than each and every one of those, and any one that you can think of? That's right, I'm talking about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Now, you might be wondering, what is it that makes Reese's the vastly superior candy? Well, it's quite simple, actually. Reese's has completely innovated themselves to be able to offer a variety of products to cover all sorts of different candy types for the consumers. Whatever you're craving, there's a Reese's product for you. Unless you're allergic to peanuts. So in this video, we're gonna go through a whole variety of Reese's products that I was able to find and give them a rating out of 10. Now, most of these I have already tried before, but there's a couple wild cards in here that I haven't had the opportunity to try yet. So without further ado, let's get started. So starting things off, we have the classic, the original Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And before we even get into it, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Now, why so quick on the rating? Well, because this is the original. From this Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, we've been given so many different products. This is where it all started, just simple chocolate and peanut butter. So already, I'm gonna go ahead and set this as the standard for the rest of the video, a 5 out of 10. We're only going up or down from here. This is the standard. And to verify that this is the foundation from whence we will build the rest of the video's Reese's ratings from, let's give it a little try. I already know this is gonna be great. I'm a Reese's connoisseur myself. Perfect. It's simple, it's delicious, and you really can't go wrong with it. If you handed me a Halloween basket and I saw a Reese's cup in there, boom, that's mine. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. So, original Reese's, can't go wrong with it. I'm not disappointed if I find that in my candy jar. So, since we started off with the normal Reese's, let's kind of expand a little bit from there, because there is a very important note to be made when it comes to holiday-themed Reese's cups. Excuse me. When you want the best of the best when it comes to eating just a plain Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, you can't go wrong with buying the holiday version of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Now, I have two of them with me because I bought a bunch of these Christmas tree Reese's for Christmas time, and they make Easter ones. So an Easter egg for Easter time. Since it's closer to Easter, we will be doing the Easter egg. They're virtually the same thing. There's also a Halloween one with, I believe, pumpkins? There might even be a ghost one. I can't fully remember. But they're all the same. For some reason, when it comes to the holiday Reese's, there's a different ratio in the chocolate and the peanut butter. And it just tastes better than a normal Reese's cup. I wish they would do whatever formula they do for these in the normal Reese's cups, because the experience is just so much better. So I guess nothing left to do but to verify my statement there and give it a little try. Oh no, it got smashed. So obviously this one might not look the best, but in flavor, it's gonna completely blow the original cup out of the water. Yep. It doesn't seem like it would be too different than the original Reese's cup. But I think, my guess is, my theory, is that they up the peanut butter in it. Now, you're playing with fire when it comes to upping the peanut butter content in a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. If you put too much, it doesn't taste as good. Too much peanut butter. But if you put too little, then you're just kind of gnawing on a piece of chocolate. It's not any different than eating like a Hershey's or something like that. But the holiday-themed Reese's have just the perfect amount of chocolate and peanut butter that makes it just a so much more delectable experience consuming than the normal Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. As for a rating, they're better than the original, so we have to give it something higher than 5. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. The standard's great, but this is taking the standard formula and just kicking it up a notch. So let's say you had your fill on just regular chocolate and peanut butter Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. It's perfectly fine. Reese's offers a whole catalog of Reese's cups or Reese's products with different little additions in them. And the first one we're going to cover is the Reese's Caramel Cups. Now, what makes this Reese's so special is that it's basically a Reese's peanut butter cup, but with the added bonus of caramel inside, which I've had these before, adds a little unique twist to the already familiar Reese's peanut butter cup taste. So it's good, but I feel like it could be better. And I'll explain why after we do our taste test here, how it could be better. It's got that smooth, creamy peanut butter and that chocolate, and then just kind of trickles in a little bit of caramel. It's a quite pleasant experience. For the Reese's Caramel Cup, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. But for a reason. The reason being is that for the Reese's Caramel Cup, they also offer them in big cup sizes. And the caramel big cup sizes are better than the normal sized cup sizes for the same reason that holiday Reese's are better than the original Reese's. It's the ratio of the innards. So while this is good, it is about equal to what the standard would be for a Reese's cup. So 5 out of 10, as we stated. But with the big cup, the ratio of caramel inside is just a little bit higher, and it just makes it all the more pleasant of an experience. So let's give it a little try here and see if what I'm saying matches up to how it is. So for the Reese's Caramel Cups, I'm gonna give them a 7 out of 10. Well deserved. Well deserved. So I made a mention that the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup formula, they like to mix things up a bit. If you're tired of having just the standard peanut butter and chocolate, they offer a wide variety of products that add different things into it. We just saw caramel, but what's something more holiday themed that you can infuse inside of a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup? Now I know exactly what you're thinking. Yeah, that's right. Sugar cookies. I found this in the store around Christmas time, and why sugar cookies? I mean, I guess you can't put chocolate chip cookies in a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup because that's basically just more chocolate. But sugar cookies? I mean, I figured they could have tried something a little more out there than just sugar cookies. But maybe that'll make it a nice digestible experience and not something way out there. So yeah, I guess the only thing left to do is to give it a try. I don't believe I've had these before. I might have had them once, but I don't remember. So this could be a whole new experience for me, potentially. Oh, they dribbled a little bit on the outside of the cup. Presentation is everything, Reese's. Presentation is everything. So I do like sugar cookies. They're one of my favorite type of cookies. Personally, I would rather Snickerdoodle would have been a good cookie to try in a Reese's. I bet that would have worked. Why sugar cookie? So I'm not sure what the flavor is going to be like for this, but I like sugar cookies, so potentially this should be pretty good. So instantly I'm caught off guard because it's crunchy. There's like little sugar cookie like balls inside of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and they're crunchy, which I guess if you like your cookies a little bit on the crispier side, that might be what you're looking for. But personally, I'm a soft and chewy kind of guy. I don't know if that works really well in a Reese's. The flavor isn't bad though, but the sugar cookie flavor is definitely muted. To its credit, I definitely feel in the Christmassy holiday spirit tasting the sugar cookie. For some reason, the flavor of sugar cookie just screams Christmas to me for some reason. So, sugar cookie Reese's Cup. I feel bad giving it anything lower than a 5. I'll leave it at a 5. I don't think it's deserving of anything under a 5. So I'll just leave it right there at a 5 with the normal Reese's and the smaller Reese's Caramel Cups. I appreciate what they tried with this, but I just don't think it really hits it on the head to be a really, solid holiday themed Reese's variant. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Now let's say you're tired of the Reese's Cup as a cup. You know what I mean? You want something different. Like you see all these people out here eating Snickers bars, Milky Ways, Heath bars, Crunch bars, things like that. You want to be like them. You don't want to show up to the party with your weird looking circle Reese's cup, even though there's nothing wrong with that. Reese's has got you covered in the form of Reese's Fast Breaks. So what's so special about the Reese's Fast Breaks besides being basically the candy bar version of a Reese's? Well, the Reese's Fast Break has your chocolate and peanut butter, but it also has nougat in it, which I don't know what nougat is, but it's good, There's nougat in plenty of different things. They're in whatchamacallits, they're in, I think Snickers has nougat in it. I'm not too, Milky Way might too, now that I think about it, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it's good, but I can't really describe the flavor to you. If anything, I can describe the consistency better. It's like caramel, but it doesn't taste like caramel. So I enjoy Reese's Fast Breaks. I enjoy them better bite-sized than big-sized. As a kid, I would always buy big-sized because I would see it and I'd be like, that looks good. I just want to consume that. And then by the time I get halfway through it, I'm sick to my stomach. Probably doesn't help that I also usually pair a king-sized Reese's Fast Break bar with a large Slurpee from the 7-Eleven gas station. Probably doesn't help at all. So Reese's Fast Break, it's a good little treat. Definitely would recommend, if you want to try it, try the bite-sized versions first because you'll get smacked with a bunch of sugar, a bunch of like richness just right out the gate, and you might not want to finish the whole entire bar. But for a little bite-sized piece, it's a good little time. Now personally, I'm a little biased. I already said I used to get these things all the time as a kid. So I'm gonna rate Reese's Fast Break probably a little bit higher than I'm sure some of you out there would. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, but only in the bite size. If you get anything bigger, that's probably more like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 because that's just too much. This is too much. Like you can feel your jeans popping and you can feel your belly aching. And it's just, by the time you get halfway through it, you're done with it. But the bite size, it's a little nice treat. How much more do we have? So for this next Reese's product, I haven't had the chance to try it yet. And personally, I think it's kind of a jab towards other treats that are out there on the market. Reese's Sticks. Now personally, looking at the package, it makes me feel like they're kind of taking a jab at Nutty Bars and Kit Kats at the same time, which, you know, if Reese's wants to redo the Kit Kat formula, all fine by me. I'm not the biggest fan of Kit Kats myself, but Nutty Bars are kind of like their own thing, even though there are similarities between the two. So the Reese's Sticks is basically, you got your chocolate and peanut butter standard and crispy wafers. That's the added difference. So 100% to me, sounding like just the Reese's twist on a Nutty Bar, but is it better than a Nutty Bar? I guess we'll find out. So already, upon opening the package, that looks like a Kit Kat to me. And Kit Kats, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they basically just a wafer covered in some chocolate and maybe something else too? So this looks like a Kit Kat, and it seems to be trying to take the idea of Nutty Bars and pass it off as their own. A little sketchy, Reese's, a little sketchy. But if it's good, does it really matter? Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. So it doesn't taste quite like a Nutty Bar, but the concept is definitely there. And the crunch, and how it chews, and just even the layer on the inside. But I do appreciate Nutty Bars more in the fact that they're bigger, and so you definitely get a lot out of it. However, the Reese's Sticks package says that you get 4 sticks in here. For Nutty Bars, you typically only get 2. So, I guess it kind of evens out. But I don't know if I'd put this above a Nutty Bar, per se. But it is pretty good. It is pretty good. I give that a 6 out of 10. I'm quite surprised by that. So yeah, Reese's Sticks, pleasantly surprised. If you see this at the store, give it a try. I wonder if they make any smaller sizes, because it feels like they put king size on everything, but I think there's like no normal sizes anymore. Am I crazy? Because like I feel like every time I go to like the gas station or like a Dollar General or a Walmart or something like that, all I see are king sizes. How can you have a king size but there's no normal size to compare the king size to? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. So next on the list we have is a Reese's product that is quite popular in movie theaters. Reese's Pieces. And also beloved by, is it E.T.? Doesn't E.T. like Reese's Pieces? So Reese's Pieces are nice. They're very utilitarian for the Reese's product line, because not only can you enjoy them on their own, they're great on their own and it's like a nice little snack. Like if you're craving something sugary, just to take a little pop of Reese's Pieces and you're good to go. But on top of that, you can also add them to a lot of things. You can put them in brownies. You can put them on ice cream. You can mix them up in popcorn. Like they're very universal in their applications. But we are judging just based on the actual product itself. So we're not gonna let that universalness about them sway the vote. So Reese's Pieces. I do appreciate that little crunch of the outer Reese's Pieces shell. Very nice. On their own, I'm gonna give them a 6 out of 10. So next we have on the list, I'm a little bit biased towards. And originally, I would have considered this to be the top ranked Reese's product. But now, it's knocked down a couple notches. And I'll explain why. The next product we have is the Reese's Take 5. Now, the Reese's Take 5, I would have said a while back ago, I would have said was the best Reese's product you can buy. It's got your chocolate, your peanut butter, it's got caramel in it, it's got pretzels in it, it's got some peanuts in it, and it's just all around exquisite. It's Take 5. There's 5 different things in here. And I would have said this is the best Reese's product you can buy. But a new product has emerged that's knocked it down a notch. So this, to me, isn't the king of Reese's products. We'll get to that one later. But this is still a delightful treat. My wife and I used to buy big bags of single serving Reese's Take 5s where they're just like individual wrapped pieces. And we would just chow down on those. Like it would be gone. We'd buy the bag and it'd be gone within a week maybe. But they're good. They're almost addicting, but they're just really good. It's been a while since I've had them. Just as good as I remember. You bite in, you instantly get greeted with just a light crunch. You get that little salty bit from the pretzel mixed with the caramel, the peanut butter, whatever else is in here. And it just all blends together really nice. So Reese's Take 5, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It is an amazing Reese's product and I would highly recommend it. Now, the Reese's Take 5 is a 9 out of 10. What possibly could Reese's have came out with to knock it down a notch from being a straight 10 out of 10 product? Let me introduce you to it. The lovely, the delightful, the exquisite, the epitome of Reese's as a product. The Reese's Outrageous Bar. Now, why is it so great? It combines a bunch of the great properties from different Reese's products into one cohesive candy bar. You got your chocolate, your peanut butter, your standard. Thrown in there, you got caramel, and you got some Reese's Pieces. Now that speaks a lot to the Reese's Pieces as a universal addition to a lot of different other things, when Reese's can take the Reese's Pieces and put it in their own product and make just an amazing product out of it. Pretty crazy. So let's give it an open. I'm gonna go ahead and say right here, right now, it's a 10 out of 10. Very biased, but I've had it a bunch of times and I can tell you, well deserving of that spot. Now this is a product I haven't tried yet. And the reason I haven't tried it is because I like the Reese's Outrageous so much. I just didn't think this one would be nearly as good as what it would be. So we have the delightful 10 out of 10 King of the Reese's Outrageous. Then we have the not talked about stepchild of the Reese's Outrageous family, Reese's Nutrageous. So the Reese's Nutrageous is pretty much similar to the Reese's Outrageous bar, except for instead of Reese's Pieces, it has peanuts in it. So you already kind of lose me on that, which I like peanuts, don't get me wrong. You know, you make peanut butter out of peanuts, but to just, as their own thing, I don't know, I don't think they outrank peanut butter to me. So if you gave me the choice between having peanuts or peanut butter, I'd take the peanut butter every time. So I personally haven't tried this product yet, so I'm curious to see how it stacks up. Already, I'm coming at it with a bias. I don't think it's gonna be as good as a Reese's Outrageous, but I am fully prepared to be pleasantly surprised. Let's find out. No. No. Now, if you like peanuts, if you're a big peanut fanatic, this might be your go-to bar. But for me, it's just not doing it. Now, the caramel in it, the peanut butter, and the chocolate is saving it for me. But just replacing the Reese's Pieces with peanuts, not a good move. But, again, if you really like peanuts, this could be the bar for you. So the Reese's Nutrageous bar, oh, I hate to do it, but that's gonna be a 4 out of 10. It's just not jiving with me with the peanuts, no. Now let's say you've had your fill of Reese's as a snack, as a candy. Is there any other way that you can consume Reese's? Why yes. What if I told you that you can have Reese's for breakfast? The epitome of a child's dream. Yes, you can have sugar for breakfast. Yes, you can have candy for breakfast. So of course, I would be completely insane if I forgot to include Reese's Puffs. And I guess these Reese's Puffs were for a promotion of some kind, because I don't know who this lady is at all. Oh, Angel Reese. Angel Reese of Reese's Puffs. Okay. I'm guessing basketball? 2,162 total college points. And I guess they asked her if she prefers heels or sneakers, and she responded sneakers. Well, duh, Angel. If you're on a basketball court, you're not going to be dribbling a basketball wearing heels. So, Reese's Puffs for breakfast. Obviously, it's a cereal. So, we're going to have to try this in its natural environment for breakfast. There you have it. Now we have Reese's Puffs in a cereal bowl with some milk. The proper way to eat cereal. So, since this is in its proper environment to be consumed, let's give it a try. It's nice, it's airy, but you still get that flavor of Reese's. Now, is it the healthiest way to start your day? Probably not, but it is very tasty. So, Reese's Puffs, I'd rate a solid 7 out of 10. It's a delightful way to eat just an already great Reese's peanut butter cup, and maybe make you feel like you're not actually just consuming a bunch of sugar. Now, if only there was another way you could consume Reese's for breakfast. Well, you're in luck. Reese's International Delight Coffee. I had no idea this existed until like a couple days ago. So, you know, if you didn't want to eat Reese's, you could just drink it as your morning coffee. So I'm assuming it's basically like your iced coffee creamer, but for this specific product, it's all mixed together. So you just pour it straight into a cup and enjoy it like a nice cup of joe in the morning. So we have a glass prepped here, and we'll just give it a nice little pour. The real question is, how does it smell? Like iced coffee with a hint of Reese's in it. Probably a good sign. Okay, okay. We won't go too much. It's in the afternoon as of right now, so I don't want to be all wired up for the rest of the day. So there, we got ourselves a nice little pour of Reese's International Delight coffee. Now, I wouldn't say I'm a coffee snob per se, but I do drink a lot of coffee. But I have my particular flavors that I like the most, so we'll see how this stacks up. That's supposed to be Reese's? Yeah, that just... Honestly, I can't tell the difference between that and like a normal like chocolate-based creamer. Like there's nothing like specifically that screams, this is a Reese's product to me besides, you know, they slap their label on the what do you call this? On the carton. They slap their label on the carton. This is a carton. Gee whiz. I'd drink it if it was offered to me. I don't think I'd go out of my way to buy this again though. So for that, I'm going to give Reese's International Delight Iced Coffee a 4 out of 10. A little lower than I'd like to give it, but it's not the standard. So, you know, I'll drink it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy it again. I'd buy a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup again, which that's our standard, but this, I'd leave it on the shelf. This is probably not the best idea, but you know what? You know, we're all about trying new things and giving new things a shot, you know, expanding our horizons and whatnot. So here we have this newest thing, the newest thing that just hit the market right now, just this instant. I created it. Reese's International Delight Iced Coffee cereal with Reese's Puff thing. Bottoms up. I mean, if you're desperate to get your coffee caffeine fix and eat your cereal at the same time in the morning, sure, but it just doesn't really work or that enjoyable, really. I don't even know why I'm still eating it. Would not recommend. Keep your cereal and your coffee separate. So there you have it. Next time you're going out to buy a Reese's, you know exactly which products to buy and which ones to avoid. Unless you're allergic to peanuts, then please avoid all of them. I'll see you all in the next one.